This is part 2 of signs, S-I-G-N-S, by quadrants. Remember, all students take calculus. Sine is positive in first and second. Tangent is positive in first and third. And cosine is positive in first and fourth. With that in mind, we want to practice this a little bit. This is a very important exercise. State the quadrant in which the angle lies. Our two clues are sine of that angle is less than 0, that means it's negative, and the cosine of the same angle is less than 0, that means it's negative. Now think about this. Where is sine negative? Well, sine is negative if it's positive in first and second. It's negative in third and fourth. So we would say third and fourth. And then we take the second clue with an and. That means they both must be true at the same time. Cosine is negative in quadrants 2 and 3. So there we would have, it would be in quadrant 3. Therefore, quadrant 3 fits both conditions, and that is where we would draw it. So let's try this. If sine is greater than 0, that's positive, and cosine is greater than 0, that's positive. Sine is greater than 0 in what quadrants? 1 and 2. And cosine is positive in what quadrants? 3 and 4. So we would put that together, 1 and 2, and then 1 and 4, and the overlapping would be quadrant 1. Let's try that again. If sine is negative and tangent is negative, well, let's see, sine is negative in what quadrants? Third and fourth. And tangent is negative in what quadrants? Well, second and fourth. So we write those down, and by the process of elimination, we see that fourth quadrant came up on both of those. So you have to have the two conditions true at the same time in order to figure out and narrow down what quadrant you should be in. Here is secant. Now secant is related to which inverse? Cosine. So cosine is negative in what quadrant? Cosine is negative in second and third. So you need to maybe flash back to the page on sines. Tangent or cotangent, either way, is greater than 0, positive in first and third. So I have second and third and first and third, and so you can see the third is a solution. Tangent is positive, and cosecant, which is related to sine, is negative. Sine is negative in third and fourth. Tangent is positive in first and third, therefore it must be in third. Let's draw the clues here in the correct quadrant. So sine is negative. In what quadrant? Well, in third and fourth. Tangent is negative in second and fourth. So that means fourth quadrant is the common one. So we're going to draw it in fourth quadrant. That's the reference angle. And we will also need to, and we can put on this, since sine is opposite over hypotenuse, or y over r, we can put those into our drawing, and we can also come up then with the missing side, the adjacent x side, which is the square root of 15. So this is the Pythagorean theorem. So this is a way that we would narrow this down. Let's try this again. If y equals negative 3x, now that is a straight line. Now here you'll see I've drawn a straight line down 3 over 1. In fact, this would be minus 3, positive 1 right here. Sine, and you can see because it's this slope with a y-intercept of 0, it's second and fourth. This should remind us of tangent. Tangent since, well, let's do sine. Sine is positive, positive in first and second, aha, and then y is, from y equals mx plus b is a -3 slope. Remember, slope is tangent, and tangent is slope, opposite over adjacent. The question is, should this be -3 over 1 or 3 over -1? You see, this -3 could be written both ways. Now, to be in second quadrant, and since it's in second and fourth, the second quadrant is the solution. So that means the one we want is right here, the second quadrant, where the 3 is positive and the 1 is negative. You see, the fourth quadrant, the x would be positive and the y would be negative. And so this would help us place it in the right quadrant with the right drawing. So we would be looking for this drawing. It has to suit the conditions and of both of these at the same time. This is unusual because this was really a straight line with slope. Slope is tangent, tangent is slope. And then another one is sine of theta equals 0.9. Now we know the trig ratio, but we don't know the quadrant. But sine is positive in first and second. So you'll see down here I've drawn a first and second quadrant drawing. So it's first and second. So it's both. So when I look this up, now I have no clue what this number is until I do sine inverse of 0.9 theta. And if I'm in degrees, I will get 64.16 in first quadrant. That would be right here. However, because this is 0.9 and sine is positive in two quadrants, here is a case where I would have two answers in two quadrants, first and second. So I use this reference angle, 64.16, right here, and I transfer it over to here and subtract it from 180. Here's our reference angle. So this angle from here to here would be 115 degrees. In this case, both answers are needed. So here we've worked on sines and quadrants. This is part 2. Hopefully this will help you to sort out what quadrant you should be in. There are times when there's only one description. It's not been narrowed down, just one description, not two like this one. You're going to be in two quadrants. There's more to explain on that later. Thank you.